Hey family, how you guys doing? It is once again time to profit with Professor. I am Professor Cornelius Ward. Um, I'm going to be looking at trading the Kiwi News tomorrow. That is the NZD, New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar is called the Kiwi, and so I may refer to this as the Kiwi dollar. But we're going to be looking at the Kiwi News tomorrow, and they're going to be right around 3:45 p.m. Pacific time because I'm in Los Angeles. That's going to happen. So I'll probably jump on a live on TradingView here right about 3:30. So let's say 15 minutes before. So that'll be 6:30 Eastern time. I'll be live preparing my charts, which is already prepared, but I'll just be kind of looking to see where the market is and if things are still going to go the way I anticipate. And then within that 15-minute period, right around 3:45 Pacific, 6:45 Eastern, news is going to come out, and we're going to see if we get a nice takeoff here to the upside with this buy stop order at 0.6225, or will it give us a false negative and short before it takes off? And if it does, hopefully we can catch it with this buy limit order at 61.05. The news that's coming out tomorrow is going to be consumer price index news. This is known as an index that measures either uh, monthly, quarterly, or yearly changes in prices that are paid by us, the U.S. consumer. What does that mean? That means that they're measuring how much we're spending on our houses, our clothes, when we travel, when we buy food, go to the hospital, have fun, um, go to get education, get our hair cut, whatever those things are that we typically, do every single day. Um, those things are all calculated. And what they do is they take the average price of each one of those items that I just mentioned. They just bunch them all together in one big giant basket. That's why they call it an index. And what they do is they take all those prices and they average them out. And when they average them out, they come up with this number. They then take this number and compare this number to the previous number. So if they're doing it monthly, then they're comparing it to the previous monthly price. If they're doing it quarterly, it's the previous quarter's price. And of course, if it's year over year, then they'll do the yearly price. So um, in this situation, this is going to be, let me check it out. This is going to be quarter over quarter. So they're going to average out the price quarter over quarter. And so whatever it was last quarter compared to this quarter, they're going to come up with a percentage. And whatever that percentage is, that is the CPI number. And that number basically lets us know if we're increasing in what it is that we're paying for all these goods and services, or is it decreasing? It should be increasing. And the reason why it should be increasing is because interest rates have gone up. If interest rates go up, that means the banks are going to have to pay back higher interest rates. Well, what do? They pass that cost on to you and I, and then we have to pay more money. But it really gets passed on mostly to businesses that get loans from banks. Those businesses now have to pay more interest on their loans, and because they have to pay more interest on their loans, they have to charge more money for their goods, their products, and their services. And that's where we come in, where we pay for that stuff because we just absolutely need it. Got to have some eggs, some of us. Got to have some shoes, some of us. But anyway, when we look at that, that's what the CPI is. So just wanted to give you a little look at that. So, depending on what the sentiment is, it doesn't really matter what's happening in reality. All that really matters is what people feel. So if they feel good about how we're spending, then the charts are going to reflect that. If we don't feel so good about spending, and that's of course in New Zealand, that's going to be Kiwi news. So however they feel over there in that country concerning their economy, being able to buy and sell things, That's going to play a part in how they spend their money. Okay. And so, based on how they spend their money, this is going to either get stronger or it's going to get weaker. Okay. So, if this goes up, what that means is that it's going to take more US dollars. This over here is called the quote currency. The NZD is the base, and this over here is the quote. So this quote currency, the USD, that goes with these prices here. So as these prices go up over here, what that means is it's going to take more US dollars. If you go to New Zealand, it's going to take more money, you can say here. So like, let's say, for instance, price action is currently right around 62 cents. So right now it takes about 62 cents to purchase or exchange it in New Zealand for one Kiwi dollar. What does that mean? It means that if you go to New Zealand, you're going to save some money. That's what that means. It means it's cheaper. It's about 40% cheaper in New Zealand because we're paying about 40% less for one Kiwi. Now, as this goes up, what that tells me is that the Kiwi dollar is becoming more and more expensive, or, which is the better way to look at it, the US dollar is becoming weaker. And that would make sense since we have interest rates going up, and because we have more dollars being printed and it's inflating the economy. And so that would make sense that the US dollar is getting weaker. And in it getting weaker, you're going to need more of it to buy one Kiwi. So I'm anticipating that this is going to be an uptrend. And because of that, we may get one little small false negative to the downside. But then once it takes off here, I plan on shaving about 25% of my position here at TP1, shaving another 25% here at TP2, and then completely closing out my trade at 0.71. Why? Because right in this area on the 8-day chart, we have this base candle that is reflective of a supply area. And I do believe we're going to see a reversal somewhere around here. And so I'm getting ready to short at 0.7166. Now, before I go, just want to share one last thing, and that is how to shave. If you are here in the US with me, there's two things you need to think about when you're trading. One is FIFO, FIFO. It's an acronym, and it stands for first in, first out. Okay? What that means is if you have multiple positions like this, whichever one is triggered first, when they're both triggered, if they happen to both be the same lot size, okay, what happens is whichever one was entered into first, that one also has to be exited first before you can exit the second one. Before, you could just exit any trade you wanted back in the day, but now they're saying, nope, you got to get out of whichever one you started first, and you got to basically get out consecutively. That's one thing I want you to think about. The other thing is we cannot have two orders that are of the same size. Now, it can happen by accident. So let's say if I'm trading through TradingView and I'm linking my Owanda account, which is the broker that I trade through. If I link my Owanda account here, I can put two standard lot positions here. And most likely it may, I'm not sure, I didn't test it out yet, but it may trigger, because I'm using a third party, it may trigger two standard lot orders. If it does that, then what Owanda is going to do is only allow me to exit my first order before I can exit my second order because of first in, first out. Otherwise, I'd have to use different position sizes like this, and now I can close whichever one I want because they have two different position sizes, so they're not linked together. All right. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because here in the US, you cannot trade or hedge in both directions at the same time. So you can't buy and sell a position in both directions at the same time, like you can if you're trading in a foreign country from the US. You're most likely trading through MT4 or 5 if you're in a foreign country, and you can trade both buy and sell. Unfortunately, here in the US, our hands are tied even more. We can't do that. So, in order for us to shave or take off some profit from these positions, just so we can get paid for our time, we have to place as much of a position here to sell some of whatever it is that we're buying here. In other words, you just want to do the opposite of whatever it is you're starting with, and whatever the opposite is, that's what's going to be shaving off of here. And the FIFO rule is going to kick in again. Let me give you an example. Let's say we get that false negative. Price action comes down and it hits here, my buy limit order first. And then it comes up here and triggers my buy stop order, the 101. Price action continues to go up. Let's say it's a perfect world and it hits my TP1. What's going to happen right here is I don't actually have a TP1. I just have a sell limit order of 25,000 units. What's going to happen is 25,000 of these units are going to get sold off of my first order here. And now this is going to change to a 75,000 unit position while this one remains 101, and then price action is going to continue. When this gets hit, this 25 is going to come off of this first one again. This is going to change now to a 50,000 unit position. This is going to stay 101,000 unit position, and both of those are going to continue up, and then they'll both close here. That's in a perfect world. Okay, let's say it happens differently. Let's say price action does go up to my buy stop order first, and then, God forbid, but it's all happened. This has happened to all of us before, but it still wicks all the way down here. And now I'm in drawdown on this one, and this one now hits, and then it goes in my favor to the upside. Well, if that happens, because the 101 was the first trade to get triggered, when price action gets up here to this sell limit order, that 25,000 is going to come off of this 101. And now I'm going to be left with 76,000 on this position and 100 on this one. Price action is going to continue up. It's going to take another 25 off of this, which is now 76. That's going to bring that 76 down to, what is that? 76 minus 25. That's going to be like 51. So it's going to bring that down to about 51. That 51 and this 100 is going to continue to be carried, and both of those are going to close right here. Just wanted to bring that up to those of you who are in the US and those who are trading foreign, because I don't want those who are trading in foreign countries to the US to place sell limit orders here. You have to shave differently in MT4 and MT5. Just go ahead and Google it. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there that'll show you how to shave positions off. Otherwise, you have to close and figure out how to get back in. I love you guys. I love doing what I do here. If you like these charts, if you like the way I lay them out, please comment. Please let me know what you love, even what you don't love. Maybe I can make some adjustments. Go ahead and follow. Also, make sure that you boost any charts that you love. And if you have a chart that you want me to chart for you, and then go ahead and give you a shout out when I post it publicly, I'll go ahead and do that. Love to hear from you one of these days. Love to see you. I've seen some of you as I travel. I reach out to some of you, and I've gotten to shake some of your hands, so that's been amazing. But this is the professor, your big brother. I'm out. I love you. I wish you guys nothing but the best. God bless.